Y'all know I've been toying with the idea of an intro. Like, like a nice montage, visuals, music, all 32 with Arabia. But a part of me also feels like you know what it is. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Arabia. I talk all things football, usually NFL, UFL, and some college. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm always happy to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're talking about Monday Night Football, Bengals Cowboys in Arlington, Texas tonight at 8:15 Eastern Time. Is actually a fun day football telecast. What does that mean? So it's the Simpsons theme, like the Simpsons. Yeah, so it's going to be Bart Simpson, who is going to be on the Bengals side, and then Homer Simpson, who's going to be on the Cowboys side. That's tonight. Just in case you see the Simpsons up on your screen, that's what's happening. It's powered by Sony's Beyond Sports technology. So it's streaming on ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and NFL Plus. Just FYI, in case you see some cartoons popping up, that's what it is. Fun day football telecast. But first, let's talk about Fanatics fines. Fanatics has 30% off the entire site. Use code FROSTY, FROSTY. Use code FROSTY for 30% off the entire site. Fanatics has premium sports merchandising from NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, WWE, NASCAR, F1, PGA, anything you can think of. They have official licensed gear. Go to fanatics.com, use code FROSTY for 30% off. The code expires at midnight, but check back on my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and I will post more discount codes. It's the holiday season. Go shopping for yourself or for your loved ones and get you some really nice gear. My biggest thing for today's game: will Cincinnati's defense stay on the bus or will they show up to the game? Because at this point, I don't know. They've been playing abhorrent, atrocious, bad, awful, terrible, all of that, all season. They have been doing that team a disservice. They have been doing that offense a disservice. They have been doing that quarterback a disservice. It has been beyond, it cannot be overstated how horrible this defense has been doing and how frustrating it is when you put it side by side to how that offense has been performing. This defense has allowed 34 or more points in 4 of their last 5 games. They're 31st, next to last in the NFL in points allowed. They are 30th in red zone defense. It's terrible. Cincinnati is already on a losing streak because of this defense, so we'll see if we get more of the same or if they actually pick it up this game. And honestly, Dallas's defense is not much better. They're 29th in the league in points allowed, but to be fair, I will extend some level of grace because they have had significant injuries on that roster. Micah Parsons was out for a good chunk of the season from week 5 to week 8, and then Trayvon Diggs and DaRon Bland have yet to be on the field at the same time all season. Not one time has Dallas had Trayvon Diggs and DaRon Bland on the field at the same time. DaRon Bland came back a couple weeks ago from a foot injury. He's fine. And Trayvon Diggs has been dealing with a knee injury over the last couple games. So he's actually listed as questionable for tonight's game. But we'll see if they do have a more robust, a more healthy defensive roster with Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs and DaRon Bland. I do expect better defensive production than we've gotten all season. But again, Cincinnati's best side of the ball is the offensive side of the ball. So even if they are healthy, they're going up against a formidable offense that scores a lot of points, that scores a lot of touchdowns. Actually, the Cincinnati offense has scored in 37 consecutive offensive drives, which is the longest active streak in the NFL. It's very impressive. So I do expect that same level of offensive production from the Bengals. I would just like to see if Dallas has a healthy roster, how they respond to that Cincinnati offense. Another similarity between these two teams, they're both very much struggling to find a run game. Dallas is trying this running back by committee thing. They were trying to get Ezekiel Elliott, now that he's back, and Rico Dowdle to kind of do running back by committee, but it's just not working. It's not working. So Rico Dowdle is their starting star running back. And then on the Bengals side, Joe Mixon goes to the Texans. They're trying to work things out with Chase Brown, trying to have him find his footing. Things aren't really gaining too much consistent traction there. They get Khalil Herbert from the Bears. He's been pretty quiet. They're still trying to get him going. So both of these teams all season have been dealing with a rushing issue. They just can't seem to get it going. So what does that mean? This offense heavily relies on their star wide receivers. For the Cowboys, it's CeeDee Lamb. For the Bengals, it's Jamar Chase with T. Higgins right behind him. So because both of these offenses are really struggling with finding a run game, we're going to be looking pretty closely at these star wide receivers, not just to see how much of that offense they're going to end up carrying, but because they're both dealing with their own types of issues. CeeDee Lamb is dealing with a shoulder injury. He will be playing in tonight's game. He's set to play in tonight's game, but it could be something to just keep an eye on. And same with Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is dealing with the ankle injury. He's also playing in tonight's game, but worth mentioning that both of these star receivers who really don't have a running game to back them up with, to kind of complement them with, are dealing with their own kind of minor issues. So interesting, we should keep an eye on it. As far as injuries, tight end Jake Ferguson for the Cowboys also was dealing with a concussion. He is listed to play in tonight's game. Out for the Bengals is Orlando Brown Jr., so we will see how that O-line performs without that offensive tackle. Also tonight, and you know how I feel about those PFF type of stats, like Thursday night below 76 degrees, a quarterback with a first letter J going up against a second string, all that. But tonight, NFL history could be made. Jamar Chase is just one reception away from being the first player in NFL history to have 80 plus catches, 1,000 plus receiving yards, and 7 plus receiving touchdowns in each of his first 4 years. I think that's pretty significant given the company that he's in and given that it's an NFL record, not just the Bengals record. So could be interesting. Early congratulations to Jamar Chase. I'm sure he will make that happen tonight. Who do you have tonight? I had the Bengals tonight, full disclosure. But tell me who you have tonight and tell me why. And tell me if you think Cincinnati's defense is going to show up or if you think their offense is just going to get it done. Do you think Dallas has a full, robust, healthy defense? And if they do you think that'll make a difference? What do you think about tonight's game? Also, in full disclosure, this is just, now I'm no longer all 32. I'm taking my all 32 hat off, and now I have my Commanders hat on. I'm a Commanders fan now, as I say this. There's a part of me that wants the Cowboys to win, so it puts them in even more messed up draft position, and it just like messes up their draft dreams. Because they've been talking about the draft for weeks now. And there's also a part of me that wants the Bengals to lose to put them in better draft position. Like imagine having like really great draft position and you're the Bengals and you just go out there and get these defensive guys and just trade off. Like I would love to see, I always pray for the Cowboys' downfall. Again, this is my Commanders hat on. I would never say this is all 32, but I'm saying this as Arabia, the Commanders fan. I will always pray on the Cowboys' downfall, and I hope the worst for them. Outside of injuries, I will never, ever, ever hope for injuries or like anything like that. But outside of that, like losing, absolutely. Every week. I hope they go 0-17 every year. And the Bengals, I do want to see the Bengals do well. I want to see Joe Burrow do well. I want to see, I want to see him get a Super Bowl and perform well eventually. So yeah, there's a part of me that really wants the Cowboys to win and for the Bengals to lose. Because neither one of them are really going anywhere. If the Bengals somehow do end up getting to the playoffs, which they won't, but if they end up going to the playoffs, that defense is not built for the playoffs. Please, it'll be a very early exit. So not saying I think that they should tank, but I am saying if they do happen to lose a lot more games, then, could be good for the future. That's all I'm saying. Thanks for watching.